Dear students, today's topic for this section is software reliability. The reliability of a software product essentially denotes its trustworthiness or dependability. Alternatively, reliability of a software product can also be defined as the probability of the product working correctly over the given period of time. So intuitively it is obvious that software product having large number of defects is unreliable, and it is also clear to us that the reliability of a system improves if the number of defects is reduced. So there is a simple relationship between the observed system reliability and the number of latent defects. But as we are removing the errors from the part of the software, then we are increasing our software reliability. But it has been experimentally observed that by analyzing the behavior of a large number of programs, that 90% of the execution time of a typical program is spent in executing only 10% of the instructions. So that is called as the core of the program, because it is executed repeatedly. So that is why it is called as the core of the program. The reliability of a product depends not only on the number of latent errors but also on the exact location of the errors. For example, if we select the input data to the system such that only correctly implemented functions are executed, then obviously none of the errors will be exposed. So that is why the reliability of the product will be high. On the other hand, if we select the input data such that only those functions which contains errors are invoked, then the perceived reliability of the system will be very low. So the reliability is different according to the different user, according to the different inputs. So from the above discussion, it is clear that the reason why software reliability is difficult to measure, so the reasons are the reliability improvement due to fixing a single bug depends on where the bug is located in the code. Second is the perceived reliability of a software product is observer dependent, and third is the reliability of a product keeps changing as errors are detected and fixed. Okay, so these are the three reasons. Next is hardware versus software reliability. Okay, so as we know, reliability behavior for hardware and software is very different. For example, hardware failures are inherently different from software failures. So hardware failures may be due to the components that are wear and tear. For example, logic gates or any circuit. So if we fix the hardware fault, one has to either replace or repair the failed part, and as we repair the failed part in the hardware, then the reliability of the hardware product is same as it is previous. But in case of software, if we remove the bug or if we remove the failure, then it may incur another types of errors also. So we can say the software reliability is different from hardware reliability. So to put this fact in a different perspective, it decreases if a bug fix introduces a new errors. Okay, so hardware reliability study is concerned with the stability. On the other hand, software reliability study aims at reliability growth. So this is the hardware versus software reliability as we studied in the unit 1. This is the bar-top curve for the hardware failure. So first is this is the burn-in phase where we are testing our hardware product, and here we are build our hardware product. This is a useful life cycle, but after some time the hardware product is not working well, means the failure rate are high because of the wearing out of the components. So this is the bar-top curve for the hardware reliability, and this is the software reliability. This is the burn-in phase where we test our program. When our program is tested and we get the system, then this is the useful life cycle. Okay, so software becomes absolute, not wear out. Thank you.